Very good evening to all of you. I am Nikita and I welcome you to this session of Last Lap to TISSNET. Today we'll be revising vocabulary together. Just give me a hi, a hello so that I know that I'm visible and audible to you. Hi Mayank, hello. Am I visible and audible? Good evening, Rulia. Good evening, Hiba. All right. Let's begin this session. So, how is your vocabulary preparation going on? What are the challenges that you are facing? I would want to know that. Hi Ruchu. Hello Animesh. Hi Sonal. Good evening. Good evening Shobh, Yashasvi. Hi Anukriti. Okay. So today, of course, the idea is that we'll discuss the commonly asked vocabulary questions in TISSNET with you, right? The question types, so that you are prepared when they come in the exam, right? That's on the agenda. All right. So, what kind of vocabulary comes in TISSNET? Let's talk about that a little. So, of course, vocabulary is an important part of TISSNET, right? So, last year, if I talk specifically about the last year, then about 4 to 5 questions were from vocabulary in 2022. However, that does not mean that just 4 to 5 questions are going to come this year as well. The number can increase also. They can go up to 10 also, right? So, this is about last year. These are the question types that came. Fill in the blanks, synonym antonyms, word meanings. Okay. Then in the previous years, if I go, further back, we can see that idioms and phrases, this question type has been asked, and even analogy questions have been asked. Moreover, if you look at the indicative syllabus of TISSNET, the indicative English syllabus that it provides, then you will see that they have mentioned analogy as a question type there. So it is imperative that we prepare for it. Right. Why suddenly an 8 p.m. class? That's because, Jasuman, the last lap to TISSNET is going on. And in this, series, we'll be having sessions at 8 p.m. Right? Okay. So, hello, all of you who've just joined. Okay. Now, what we will do, we'll practice all these question types, right? So that we are prepared. The level of vocabulary in TISSNET is easy to moderate, so you need not worry a lot in case you are acquainted with the high frequency words, right? That level of vocabulary should be there that, okay, I am aware of all the high frequency words out there. And you know what high frequency words are, the words that you commonly use in your life, in your conversations, okay, in your writing. Those are the high frequency words, right? Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll cover these question types, fill in the blanks, synonym antonyms, idioms and phrases, and analogy, right? So fill in the blanks is a ubiquitous question type. It will help you not just for TISSNET but also for MAHCET, for CMAT, whichever exam you are taking. Same is the case with synonym antonyms. Idioms and phrases again asked in a lot of OMETs, right? Not just TISSNET. And analogy is a question type that's asked in some OMETs. So we are preparing for this as well today. Right. So let's begin. Here's your first question. And acha no. First the instructions, first some directions to you, some guidelines that you should follow, right? So my suggestion is that when you attempt fill in the blanks, this is a very easy question type. It is scoring, it is time saving. So how can you save your time? Read the complete sentence, the complete paragraph once in one go. Okay, don't read it in bits and pieces. Why? Because when you read it, in one glance, what happens is that you become aware of the context, the surrounding words. You get an idea of the tone of the sentence, the tone of specific words, right? Which is very important. Once you realize, okay, I need a positive word in this blank, you will eliminate all the negative words, okay, for that blank from the options. So read the entire statement, the complete paragraph at once. That will help you a lot. Okay, and this is what I've just told you. This will help you to understand the context and understand the tone. Paying attention to them is important when it comes to fill in the blanks. Then sometimes you will, and we'll observe this in the questions that will come, that grammar can also help us. whether I need a verb in this blank or I need an adjective in this blank. That can also help me, knowing this can help me to eliminate some options, right? So grammar can also help at times. And lastly, on all these bases that I've just discussed, grammar, tone, what is being talked about, what is the context, on these bases, eliminate. Okay, group your options. Okay, I need a positive word, so eliminate all the negative words. So you grouped all the negative words together and you eliminated them. So this is the technique that you have to follow, right? And once you do that, fill in the blanks can be a cakewalk, they can be scoring questions, they can be time saving questions, right? So on this note, let's begin with the fill in the blank, right? You have this question here, four options. Tell me what the answer should be. Yes. Yes, absolutely, Jasuman. Articles which are a part of grammar, they help a lot at times. Knowing, if there is an versus if there is an, that itself can be a clue at times, right? So I've got B and one C also so far. What else? Okay, okay. So, I think almost all of you say B, and you're absolutely right. Because we are talking about, see, the context makes it so clear. Even though pure can also fit. However, we are not discussing adulteration here. That's not the topic of discussion. Rather, I'm specifically talking about Hyderabadi biryani. So, a specific regional biryani is being discussed, right? So, when we talk about something that's regional, something that's traditional, a traditional regional dish, for that we talk about authentic ingredients. Okay, ingredients that are as close or exactly the same as the ones that are used in that particular regional traditional dish. Those are authentic ingredients, right? So B is our answer here and not C. Hope this is clear. And see here, I told you you can eliminate on the basis of grammar. So these can be eliminated because authenticity is a noun, purity is a noun. I needed an adjective here. So even grammar can help you. So this question was very easy. You didn't need that help, but in general. Okay then. Let's talk about this question. The mother gave a dash portion of rice to her son. Let's see what you say. Okay, so I've got a lot of C's, and you are absolutely correct. Again, an easy question. The mother gave a generous portion of rice. Okay, so she's a mother. She would, of course, give a lot of rice to her son. Yes, the context makes it clear that it cannot be a thrifty portion. It has to be a generous portion. So, generosity, thrift, again, nouns, they cannot come here. What is thrift? We've discussed this in some of our earlier sessions. Thrift. Thrift means savings. Okay. So a thrifty person is a person who likes to save things, resources, money, right? Usually used in the context of money, but can be used for resources as well. So likes to save them. But here the mother would want to give a generous portion, right? And a good portion. All right. Economical, yes, economical is a synonym, correct, right? Spending wisely, absolutely. That person is thrifty. So there's in economics, there's something called the paradox of thrift. You can find out more about it. Okay, in case you have a difficulty in remembering the word thrifty, I always give the example of Monisha from Sarabhai versus Sarabhai, in case anyone is a fan, right? So that's how you can associate this word with a person, with a character. Right. Let's have a look at question 3. Tell me what the answer should be. Acha, I'm hiding this. This is sprouted. Yes, Jasuman, correct. Okay. A, D, B. All right. Only C remains. So the first two questions were a warm up. Now comes this slightly trickier question, slightly tricky only. Okay, let's have a look what the answer should be. Lifted from the ground, the man became the earliest anatomically modern human and the start of a new branch, Homo sapiens, on the dash family tree of humanity that first dash 4 million years ago. Okay, so uh, if let's say I look at this word strangled, this does not fit my context at all. Strangling someone is, stifling them, choking them. So strangled does not fit at all. So B, outrightly eliminated, right? Then the swerving is unshaking, something that's very firm, does not shake. Okay, it's also used for someone who's very determined, resolute. So, unswerving family tree, okay, of humanity that first burgeoned 4 million years ago. What is the meaning of this word, burgeon? It'll in fact come later as well in a question. When something burgeons, it increases in size, number, etc. So it first started at this point, right? That's the word that I'm looking for, started. I'm not looking for expansion or increase. So again, the second blank does not, this does not fit the second blank. Okay, so between A and D, on the aligned family tree, aligned with what? Aligned is when you place something next to another thing, or you make it consistent with the other thing. So aligned. Also the tree, can the tree begin? Family tree of humanity that first began. Began does not fit with tree. The tree does not begin. The tree gets germinated, let's say, or the tree was first sprouted. So it is D, Delhi. On the tangled family tree. It's a tangled tree because there may have been a lot of branches there, right? So our history, the history of humankind is a complex history. So there may have been a lot of branches, tangled, okay, intertwined. That's what I mean. Sprouted. So it fits perfectly with tree. Sprouted, right? So I hope this is clear to everyone that D, Delhi is the answer. Good. Those who said D, I got quite a few A's. So just wanted to clarify this that began does not fit the context at all. Right? Okay. So this was a good question here. Let's see another one. Tangled is some when things are intertwined, okay, things are complex, that is tangled, right? So tangled hair, uljhe hue baal, uljha hua is tangled. So human, human prehistory, human history, that can also be tangled because let's say there can be so many subspecies out there, right? There were the Neanderthals, there was Homo erectus, there's Homo sapiens. So in that sense, yes, it could be a tangled family tree there, right? Okay, so the last option is obliged here. Let me reduce the size of my, just a second, huh? Okay. All right. So I've got B, C, what else? D, okay. An emphatic D from Shubham there. So again, pay attention to the context. The grammar can also help, as I told you earlier, and I'll show it here. What is kinesthetic? Just for our knowledge, mainly through visual, auditory, or kinesthetic modes. Visual we understand related to sight, auditory related to hearing. Kinesthetic modes. When our body parts move, let's say my finger moves here, I become aware of it, right? Immediately I am aware of it. So this awareness of the movement of body parts, because of these receptors that are there in our organs, okay, in our body parts, that awareness is called kinesthetic awareness. Okay, it's a perception, it's an awareness. So learning styles theory dash that people learn in different ways, mainly through visual, auditory, or kinesthetic modes. And so material should be presented to students to dash these differences, consistent with the meshing hypothesis. So this theory says something. So I am looking for a word that is similar to says, okay, or propounds, right? So and this, whatever it says, is consistent with the meshing hypothesis, where instruction is tailored to preferences. Okay, so counters does not fit at all. Why? Because this theory is consistent with the other theory, right? It is not countering this idea. Yes, it is also talking about tailoring material to students according to their differences. This is also talking about tailoring instruction to preferences. So counters eliminated right away. Okay, then to dash these differences. So after two, we put assists this S form of the verb, or will we put the base form of the verb? It cannot be assists. It has to be assist, right? So on the basis of grammar, I eliminated it. Okay. It contends. So basically, it again presents, it asserts. This one fits. To accommodate, this one also fits. Now see here, again, this does not fit on the basis of grammar, obliged, because I am looking for the base form of the verb, not the past simple, not the present simple. दोनों ही गलत हैं, right? So B is the answer, contents and accommodate. Make sense? Obliged doesn't fit. Correct, Naman. So B Bangalore, it says something and we should accommodate, we should, adjust to these differences. That's the idea. All right, then. This was question 4. Let's look at question 5. Yes, correct, Devanshi. In option D, claims fits. Nothing wrong with claims. Good. Okay. Apparently, I'm hiding option D even now. The part is scandalous. That second blank talks about scandalous. Yes, Vidushi. Assert and contend, they are similar. They are synonyms. Okay, so I've suddenly got a lot of D's, a couple of C's there. All right. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Okay, the fact that so many teachers continue to practice and endorse methods that have no dash beneficial impact. So, the moment I read this sentence, the word that came to my mind was no visibly beneficial impact, or no visible, something of the nature of visible. No visibly or evidently beneficial impact on their students is as dash as it sounds. So it's as bad as it sounds. This came to my mind. So I'm looking for a negative word here in the second one. The moment you realize this, that you're looking for a negative word, you can group the positive words and eliminate them. Righteous, somebody who has morally high standards. Amazing, again, it's a positive word, right? Positive idea. So we are left with these two. So disguised is the opposite of visible. So this cannot be the answer, right? It is D Delhi, discernible, something that you can distinguish. Okay, something that's evident, visible. So discernible, beneficial impact on their students is as scandalous, as controversial, you know, causing scandal, as bad as its sound. So negative word. Correct, correct, Naman. So D Delhi is the answer. So you saw that these questions were easy to moderate. If you read them carefully, if you understood the context, then the words in themselves were not very difficult. Right. So these are the questions that these are the kinds of questions that we expect in TISSNET as well. Okay. Moving on to another question type, synonym antonyms. Again, a ubiquitous question type. You can see it across your various non-CAT exams. My first guideline to you here would be read the directions carefully. A lot of times students think of an antonym question as a synonym question and mark the wrong answer and vice versa, right? So see what is it that you have to mark, synonym or antonym, and then mark accordingly. Again, here also grouping and elimination will work on the basis of tone. So positive, negative. If I'm looking at the meaning of a negative word, okay, I'm looking at the synonym of a negative word, it has to be a negative word again. So tone can help you, right? In case you have a rough idea about the meaning of the word, that again is going to help you. So grouping, elimination, apply these and you'll be sorted. Save time, these are time saving questions, these are scoring questions again. So quickly eliminate. There's no reason to be stuck in these questions. They're as direct as things can get. So save time through these questions. Don't be stuck. Make calculated guesses, mark something and proceed in case you don't know the meaning, don't know the antonym, right? So that should be your approach here. Hi Rishika. Okay, so that was an enthusiastic hello, and I tried to respond enthusiastically to it. Uh, so let's solve a few questions again. Synonym antonyms. Here's your first question. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. Apurva and Yashasvi say D. Mayuri says B. So a healthy bit of nervousness is fine. Yes, I always talk about eustress. And see, here's a prefix also for you. EU, which is a prefix that means good. It's there in euphoria, eulogy. So eustress is fine, right? It in fact helps you to perform well. But don't get unnecessarily nervous. See, TISSNET is not a difficult exam as such. You also must have realized this through mock tests. It's just that your strategy, how you manage your time, how many questions you're able to get correct, right? So speed, accuracy. So in case you've taken any other test so far, you must have prepared for these things already, right? So just stay calm, focus on your general awareness also, right? Your GK portion, focus on that, attend sessions related to GK, and yes, just go relax and take the exam, right? So B, C, D, all right. Um, Varied responses. Aphorism, that's how we pronounce this, aphorism. An aphorism is in the nature of a general truth, right? So easy come, easy go. Things that come easily, they also go away from us easily. So this is a general truth, right? So such, uh, they could be proverbs, such sayings, they are called aphorisms, right? So adage is a synonym. Maxim is a synonym. Okay, adage, maxim. So these are aphorisms. Right. Now, why not the other words? A pun. What's a pun? It's a figure of speech. Pun. So, when you playfully use We playfully exploit the two meanings or more than one meaning of a word. That is a pun, right? So, um, I always give this example. Why is the egg sad? Because it has been beaten, right? So, just exploiting the two meanings of the word beaten. So, that's a pun. And no, aphorisms are not punny. Then, wither. When something withers, it declines in health. Let's say I'm talking about a human being withering, it declines in health. If a plant withers, a tree withers, then it loses its leaves and gradually fades away. That's withering, right? Aphis. Aphis is not a word that you'll come across very often. It's a type of a fly. Okay, a black fly. So you can just forget about it, right? It's a biology, it's a zoology related word. All right. So proverb is our answer here. D Delhi. And good, those who said D. Beatific. Beatific is an adjective. Let's see what its synonym is. Shubh says A. Aman A. All right. Yashasvi A. Kuberan says C. Okay, Ravi. Ravi says C. All right. Sorrowful. I don't have to give an antonym here. It's a synonym question. Sorrowful would be an antonym, not a synonym. Right. Beatific is a positive word. See, even if you do not know the exact meaning, let's say, you can still eliminate dark and sorrowful. So in the exam, let's say the situation arises where you don't know the exact meaning, at least you can eliminate these two options and then make a calculated guess. So how would I make a calculated guess? I would try to recall in what context have I heard it. Have I heard it in the context of someone's physical beauty? If not, then I'll eliminate handsome, and absolutely correct is the answer here. His beatific smile. So, beatific smile here does not mean his handsome smile, so to say. It's something that's very happy, okay, very rapt, that kind of a smile, blissful. Okay. Burgeon. See, burgeon comes again. Now I think you know the meaning. Burgeon is a verb, burgeoned. Okay, the population burgeoned. That was the past simple form. All right. So, what is the synonym? We've already done this word. Okay. All right. Absolutely correct. So we saw this word in a sentence also. So that's why now I think it should not be a challenge for us to really guess its meaning. Okay. So in fact, the other words, they don't fit at all. If I look at shrink, that's the opposite. So it's the antonym and not the synonym. Vanish, again in the nature of an antonym, again of an opposite nature. So very easy to eliminate these two. Propound. I used it when we were talking about the learning styles theory. If you remember, to propound a theory is to put forward a theory, right? When you uh, present a theory in front of others, let's say you want them to consider your theory, that's when you propound it. So, not related, eliminated. Proliferate is again to increase in number. Okay, so if I say that a lot of schools have proliferated in my area, that means their number has increased in my area. All right, so A is the answer. Good. Thank you, Rishika. That means so much. Okay. What does this word mean and how is it pronounced? It's a noun. So, cynosure, right? Cynosure. What does it mean? A, all right. B. Sorry, you have to give an antonym. I am sorry. See, you also have to read the instructions. Okay, so now the instructions have changed. You have to give an antonym. Okay, not the synonym. There's no direction given here, no? That's why the confusion arose. So, center of attention, focus. Let's say I did not read the instructions carefully in this particular question. Then also when I arrive at A and D, I realize that these are similar ideas. So center of attention, focus. Then I realize, okay, primary is also something that you're paying attention to. That's your priority. So all of these are similar. B is the answer. Peripheral, something that's not the center of your attention. It's on the periphery, on the boundary. That is of peripheral concern to you, right? So B is the answer. Absolutely correct. We are looking for an antonym here, right? Okay. And it is a noun. So if I say, I mean, let's use it also. He is the cynosure of everyone's eyes. So everyone loves him, right? So he's the cynosure of everyone's eyes. Okay. Clandestine. Antonym again. It's an adjective, clandestine. Okay. B, Bangalore is what I've got. Sumit says C. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's B versus C in the chat box. I need an antonym. What kind of a meeting is a clandestine meeting? So I remember I read this word first in the context of a meeting, a clandestine meeting between two lovers, right? So I read it in a novel. So a clandestine meeting. What kind of meeting would it be? A secretive meeting, yes? It will be a secretive meeting. So clandestine means secretive, right? Now you have to give me an antonym of secretive, something that's very outright, obvious, very conspicuous. That's the word I need. And the word that means this is A. Okay. So, and yes, so Naman is saying illegal. Yes, something that is secretive and it can be illegal also. Yes, that's also part of the definition. Illicit, illegal. So, I got A. Sumit said A. Okay, good Sumit. You said A for this. Otherwise, no one said A. So let's see the other words. The other words are not, except B, these two are not related to clandestine. Okay. Fortuitous. Fortuitous is a cousin of the word fortunate. Okay, it's a cousin of this word fortunate. Fortunate, something that's lucky for you. Fortuitous, happening by chance. That's one meaning. Happening by chance. A chance occurrence. Okay. So I met my aunt fortuitously in the mall. Now I am not clarifying it to you whether I think it's a lucky accident or it's an unlucky accident. Depends on my aunt. So fortuitous, happening by chance. It could be something good also, bad also, but a secondary meaning that emerged later of this word fortuitous is lucky itself. So you can use it in a neutral sense also and in a positive sense also. This is that kind of a word. Chameleon word hai ye, right? So fortuitous is not related, not the answer. Furtive, furtive glances, right? This is the context in which I have read this word often. So they threw furtive glances at each other. So surreptitious glances, secretive glances, pata na chal jaye ek ko that the other person is watching them, right? So surreptitious, furtive, that means secretive. So it's a synonym, not an antonym. Febrile, febrile, it is related to fever, comes from the word fever itself. So feverish is febrile. Okay, and febrile activity can also mean very hurried and chaotic activity, right? Feverish activity. So A is the only possible answer. Flagrant, what does this mean? Yes, flagrant disregard for rules, flagrant violation of law, a very obvious outright violation of law, obvious, outright, conspicuous. That's the meaning, right? Conspicuous is also a synonym. And it's usually used in a negative context, flagrant. Okay, so this is clear to us. A is the answer. A is the antonym of clandestine, and furtive would be a synonym. Now, what is the antonym of debilitate? Debilitate. Yes, Shrikant, we could associate flagrant with a rebellion. Where can you find? Good question, Sumit. So, quite a few places. One, in case you want a list, if you're looking for a list, I would say that in the NMAT official guide, there is a list of high frequency words. You can go through that, and it will be very pertinent also, very relevant also to you, because you may be looking at taking NMAT also, right? Then apart from this, in case you're looking for vocabulary books, then Word Power Made Easy is the Bible when it comes to building vocabulary through the root word technique. That's one source, right? In case again you're looking for a popular word list that is freely available, you don't want to invest in buying, then there is something called a Barron's list. Barron's 800, Barron's 3000. So Barron's 800 is the most basic word list out there. A lot of GMAT GRE students, they make use of this. There are about 800 words here, 800 high frequency words. So these are some sources, some publicly available sources, right? Okay, so A, B is what you are saying. And of course, please go through your previous year papers of all the OMETs, right? Even the early CAT papers, they'll help. So why, okay, a lot of B is good, but I saw some A's also. This is a synonym, debilitate, innervate, something that, saps your energy, something that makes you weak, infirm. So if you are debilitated in health, you are weak, you are infirm, right? You can associate infirm with the word infirmary. Places where there's no infrastructure for a hospital, we build infirmaries there. Usually soldiers, they recuperate in infirmaries because they are, positioned in places where there are no hospitals. So debilitate, weak, infirm, innervate, again to make someone weak, enfeeble, to make someone weak. Innervate is more associated with energy, a decrease in energy. This is associated with weakness. Engender, okay, so if I say, your actions have engendered a lot of problems for us, that means they have caused a lot of problems for us. So engender means to cause. Gen here means birth, to give birth to cause. Invigorate means to energize. So outrightly opposite of debilitate, right? So B is the answer. Hope this is clear. So these were some synonym antonym questions, right? Keep practicing them. As I said, your previous year papers, a lot of OMETs will have synonym antonym questions. This is a very common question type. Coming to idioms and phrases. So I find this area to be extremely interesting because there are very interesting origin stories behind a lot of idioms. I'll discuss one with you in detail today, right? So I find it very interesting, and I have picked up a lot of them through reading. So reading, I think, is a very useful way to pick up idioms and phrases. Where else can you pick them up? You can again pick them up through various books. So, for instance, Ren and Martin has these chapters on idioms. You can learn from there. There are, of course, your previous year papers. There are apps. So, in fact, our BYJU'S Exam Prep app itself has vocabulary tests that you can take, right? They'll have idioms and phrases also. Okay, and then there are dedicated apps to idioms and phrases also. So, you can download them as well, right? So, a lot of material again available for them. Okay, what are my tips for you here when it comes to attempting the question, right? The literal meaning of the idiom can be deceptive. So if I tell you, I am over the moon today, does not mean that, you can spot me somewhere near the moon, right? If I say that, she was always like a cat on a hot tin roof in my sessions, then that does not mean I'm calling her a cat. No, okay, I'm not saying that she was a cat or she had whiskers or something like that. I'm just saying that she was nervous in my class. So do not go by the literal meaning, it can be deceptive. But yes, in case the context is given to you, in case you are given some surrounding words, you are given some sentence, it's a fill in the blank, then please take the help of that context. It can be very useful. Okay, particularly when you don't know the exact meaning. Okay, it was supposed to come out today, right? Rulia is saying 18th. All right, it may have been postponed. So let's solve a few questions again. This is your first question. And if you saw the final, the World Cup final, then you can relate. Why does it say Brazil? Um, okay, changing this. B, all right. So, in the beginning, definitely no. During the interval, no. 1 hour before 12, that's again a literal interpretation. So, it is in the latest possible time. A very easy, common idiom. Two related idioms in the nick of time, in the nick of time, and one more is at the last minute. It doesn't even look like an idiom at the last minute, but it is an idiom. So when you do things at the 11th hour, you are doing them at the very last minute. When you say that, okay, I reached the airport in the nick of time, that means just at the time when, let's say, the gates were about to close. So again, uh, I just cut it. That's what I mean to say. So in the nick of time is also similar. So two related idioms. This is also how you can learn idioms. Relate them to other idioms. Relate them to an idiom in your mother tongue. Get to know the stories behind them. Right? Okay. Now let's have a look at this, the 13th question. If anyone makes a mistake, it's the senior person who has to carry the can. And the context, I think, something that happens at the spur of the moment, that's an impulsive thing. So, a spur of the moment is impulsive. That's the meaning. B, Bangalore is what I've got. The context makes it pretty conspicuous as to what the answer is, right? So, to take responsibility, to carry the can is to take responsibility. The others don't fit at all. All right. Let's look at this. The meaning of this idiom or phrase. No context given to you now. Okay. Aman says C. Praj says C. Pranjal C. Ashni C. Okay. All right. So a lot of C's, and you are correct. So it's actually this idiom. There are two similar idioms: Irish goodbye, Irish exit. Irish goodbye, Irish exit. Right. So it's like various countries are blaming each other for this practice. That's what I got from this idiom. So French leave. Uh, so in England, no, in the US. In the US, they use the idiom Irish goodbye, Irish exit. Okay. So they think that the Irish people, I mean, again, it's a stereotype. that is there, that Irish people are usually so drunk at the end of the parties that they are not in a position to say goodbye to the host, and that's why they leave without taking leave of the host, right? So that's the prejudice that has given birth to Irish goodbye, Irish exit. Then in England, they use French leave because it's again believed that French people are like that, that they leave a party. Usually, the size of French parties is also quite big. So they don't disturb the host, they leave without telling the host. There's also a deep-seated stereotype that's there that, the French soldiers, they are known to abandon their battalions, abandon their army. So based on that also comes this idiom, French leave. And in French also there is an idiom which I could not really understand, but its meaning is that in the style of the English. So the French people think that the English are like that. So there's a lot of blame game that's happening here. US is saying that okay, Irish people are like that. English people are saying French are like that. French are saying that English people are like that. Right? So leaving without permission. C is the answer here, and it can also mean that when you are absent from work without taking permission, it can be used in that sense also. French leave. Clear to everyone? So this was the interesting story behind it. Let's go to another idiom here. White knuckle. Let's see what you say. Okay. All right. Okay. So some A's I have got. Do the others agree? All right. So a unanimous decision in the chat box that the answer is A. Correct. White knuckle, a white knuckle situation. Usually, it's used for rides in theme parks, rides that are difficult for some people to go on. So they're exciting also, but they're frightening also. So white knuckle rides, that's how we use it. A white knuckle experience is an exciting but frightening experience. So that's the meaning. And the origin is that when you feel, a little unstable, let's say something frightens you, then you grip something in order to get hold of yourself, in order to make yourself stable. So gripping, the action of gripping makes your knuckles white, and that's why the term white knuckle, right? So A is the answer here. A, okay, it could be Ahmedabad. Yes, let's call it Ahmedabad. Okay, it's not a sign of peace or friendliness. He has a reputation of setting everybody by the ears. So what is this person doing? Does he spy on others? Does he eavesdrop on conversations? Does he cause trouble? Or is he simply an attentive person? Yashasvi says B, Pranjal D, Rishika B, Mayuri C. Okay. So varied responses. All right. Nobody says A. Okay, let's have a look. So he has a reputation of setting everybody by the ears. When you set someone by the ears, or when you set everyone by the ears, you cause a lot of chaos, you cause a lot of disagreement, you cause a lot of commotion. So based on this, what should the answer be? It cannot be spying, it cannot be eavesdropping, it is not, definitely not attentiveness, it is causing trouble. D is the answer, right? To set everybody by the ears. So let's say we could, when talking about a riot, we could say that that action of killing so and so person set the town by the ears. That means there was commotion, disagreement, chaos in the entire town, right? That's how we use it. All right, so this was setting everybody by the ears. Now let's talk about analogy questions. So analogy, the word itself means similarity, right? When you compare two situations, actually it means comparison to draw out similarity. Let me be more precise. Comparison between two things, between two ideas to draw out similarity, right? To actually highlight their similarity. That is analogy. So how does this question appear as part of vocabulary then, right? I'll show you that. I am sure you've seen some analogy questions. The thing to remember in analogy questions is that they don't just need you to be good at vocabulary, they also need you to be good at logic, right? You first need to figure out the relationship between the question words there, isn't it? That's your first step. First, figure out the relationship in the question pair. So, to give you an example, let me just show you a question here. First, you need to figure out what is the relationship between goat and kid, right? Then the relationship, the relationship that is your answer should also be in the same order. Okay. So goat is to kid if I'm saying that, and let's say I say that, okay, goat is not related to kid. Let's say goat is not related to kid, okay, or I'm talking about two things that are very distantly related. Then my answer pair also has to be such a pair which is very distantly related, okay, remotely related. So the relationship pair should also be in the same order. And this is something that I'll explain to you when we come to a question. There is a reason why I've written this. Choose the option that is closest to the question pair. What do I mean by this closest? I'll reveal through a question. Right? Right now, let's proceed and let's see what you say here. The word reputed is positive, as Business Maestro is perhaps trying to say, reputed is positive. But when I say reputation, reputation can carry a negative connotation also. Okay. So if I say, that man is a philanderer, he has quite a reputation in the town. So quite a reputation. That means he has a bad reputation in the town. So reputation can mean a bad reputation also, but reputed is a positive term. Okay, A, B, all right. Filly. Who is a filly? Yes, who will tell me? A filly is a young female horse. Okay, a young female horse. It has nothing to do with an elephant. Okay, so I'm writing female horse. Young female horse. Okay, calf is the answer. B. The young one of an elephant is a calf. The young one of a sheep is a lamb. And who is a colt? To be very precise, there are a lot of names for the young ones of horses. Have you noticed this? So an a young uncastrated male horse is a colt. Okay. And what would be a castrated young male horse called? It's called a gelding. Okay. A gelding. Let me just write that here. Colt is uncastrated. Uncastrated means that, okay, its testicles have not been removed. That's the idea. Gelding, on the other hand, is a horse whose testicles have been removed. Okay, and young. They are young. Young. Okay, so all of these are young ones only. Clear? Okay. And what is the feminine of a horse? Mare. Okay. The female horse is called a mare, the adult female horse. Goat, the young one of a goat is called a kid. The young one of a goat is called a kid. Okay, I'm sorry, I did not state this. The young one of a goat is called a kid. So we are looking for the young one of an elephant. Right? Yes, all this is actually a matter of knowledge also. So calf is the answer. Now, Some of you may be thinking that this is an incorrect word, but no. Euphoria and euphoria, they are synonyms, very similar words, and both are correct. Okay, let's see what you say. Filly is female. That's the difference. Filly is female, whereas colt is male. So young female, colt is young male, uncastrated young male. C A, all right. C for cat, all right. A for Ahmedabad, C for cat, and I usually say B for Bangalore, D for Delhi. All right. So a lot of you say A, and see if we are absolutely looking for synonyms here. Euphoria, euphoria is ecstasy, the peak of joy. So synonym, ecstasy is to agony, antonymous ideas, right? Agony is when you're in pain. So antonymous. Emulate someone. When you want to emulate someone, you think of them as a role model. You want to copy them. Emulation is when you want to copy their mannerisms, their lifestyle, right? That is emulation. Immolation is not at all a related idea. Immolation is burning. Yes. So now I heard this in the context of the Tibetan community, right? Self immolations. A lot of them carried out self immolations in protest of how, I mean, the politics, right? That China was trying to uh, China says that Tibet is a part of their country, it's not a separate country. Tibetans want to be recognized, so in protest they self-immolated themselves. So immolation is burning, right? So not related at all. Then despondency is to misery, absolutely synonyms. When you're despondent, you are sad. Okay, you are uh, I mean, in a lot of misery, right? You're feeling miserable. That's the idea. Dejection is to anticipation. Anticipation is when you are excited about something. Dejection is when you're disappointed. So again, antonymous ideas. So good. I think quite a few of you figured this out correctly. A was the only possible answer there. Okay. So this is the answer A for this analogy question. Let's have a look at the 19th one. Levity is to light-hearted. So what is a similar relationship here? Yes, absolutely, Sudha. Euphoria is also a noun. Euphoria is also a noun. A, C, okay. I understand why you said C, Naman. Okay, so this will be a good learning. I've got some A's, okay, one D also, all right. So this becomes a matter of vocabulary. Uh, these questions, levity, you need to know the meaning of levity. So levity is this light-hearted atmosphere, this happy atmosphere that's usually there at, parties or intimate parties that you have where you meet your friends. That's characterized by levity, light-heartedness. Now, if you look at C, ingenuity actually means cleverness. Okay, an ingenious idea is a very original and clever idea. So ingenious is the adjective, ingenuity is the noun. Now, why some of you may have marked C is that you confused ingenuity with the word ingenuousness. Ingenuousness. Ingenuousness means innocence, being naive. Okay, so these are synonyms. Okay, ingenuity and innocence, not synonyms. Ingenuity is cleverness. Impunity is to punishment. Again, antonymous ideas. Impunity is when you are safe from punishment, when you can't be punished. You are exempt from punishment. That is impunity. right? Some diplomats, for instance, diplomatic immunity is a form of impunity, right? Depravities to righteousness, I think again, if you've heard the words depraved and righteous, if you've seen them being used in sentences, you know that one is negative, one is positive. A person who is depraved does not have morals, right? A person who's righteous has high moral standards. Gravity is to seriousness. Yes, you don't understand the gravity of this situation. You don't understand how grave this situation is. So serious this situation is. Hence, A. Okay, ingenuous, yes, it's gullible. Gullible, naive, these are synonyms. Gullible, naive, ingenuous के synonyms हैं ये. Clear? Everybody? So 19th answer is A. Okay, let's come to the 20th question. Wrinkled is to fabric. Give me a similar relationship. That's okay, Naman. Perhaps third time is the charm. Yes? Okay. All right. Others? Okay. All right. All right. All right. So a lot of you say C. So this is what I meant when I wrote that guideline for you, that mark the answer that is the closest, the relationship that is the closest to your question relationship. See, fabric gets wrinkled. Fabric can get wrinkled, right? Which shows a sort of damage to fabric, right? Uh, Lawn was watered. So if the lawn was watered, that does not show the exact relationship that fabric has to wrinkled. So eliminated. But water became dirty. Let's say water was dirtied, water became dirtied. Some, some students think that, okay, even B fits. B fits here. Just like, fabric was wrinkled, water was dirtied, right? Or the wall was broken for that matter. Indicates some sort of a damage itself. But which is the closest to this idea? Wrinkles in fabric and crumples in paper. Yes? So, crumpled is to paper is a very close, visualize this. It's a very close visual idea. And that is why C is the answer and not B and D here. Right? You get it? So, this is what I meant by choose the closest relationship. The one that matches it in idea. Okay. Let's have a look at the 21st question. But Yashasvi, just like, we can wrinkle a fabric, we can crumple a paper. Okay, D, all right. Scythe. What is a scythe? So a farmer uses a scythe. It's this kind of it is a triangular tool that is used in order to plow the soil at times, right? So, or to turn the soil over. That's why the farmers use it. So farmer uses a scythe. Surgeon uses a scalpel in the same way. Absolutely correct. D is the answer. Okay. So it looks like, this is this game we used to play, Atlas, in school. That's going on in the chat box. D for Dibrugarh, D for Dhaka. All right. So surgeon uses a scalpel. A scalpel is this really small knife that a surgeon uses, right? So absolutely, others do not fit at all. A very easy question, this one. It just relied on your knowing the meaning of scythe. That's it. Okay. And in fact, B and C were the same, right? Artist is to emotion. B and C were the same. Yeah, I didn't notice this. So D, Delhi is the answer here. Okay. The last question for the day, an analogy question. Tell me, what should come here? A very easy question. And in case you like the session, then do press the like button. Yes. What do you say? Okay, Akanksha says B, Rohan says C, Hiba C. Okay. C for Chhatarpur. Why C, Naman? Equalities to book. See, liberty. A symbol of liberty is the torch, right? Statue of Liberty. So, torch acts as a symbol of liberty there, yes? Now, remember that Kanun Ki Devi from your Bollywood movies, 90s, 80s Bollywood movies. What is the Kanun Ki Devi carrying? Yes. So justice is to scales. Scales are a symbol of justice that therefore is justice is to scales. B. Bangalore. All right. No, 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 no. Torch. No, not to torch someone. No, no, no. That was not the idea. Liberties to torch. So these were some questions, some question types we covered today. Fill in the blanks, analogies, synonym, antonyms, idioms, and phrases. I also told you how you can prepare for them. Now, about the strategy, the exam strategy. In the English section, of course, go for the vocabulary and grammar questions before the RC passages. Then, save your time here and make calculated guesses. There is no negative marking, right? And yes, don't get stuck in these questions. It doesn't pay off at all. The next session, I'll let you know. Okay, as soon as I get to know. And till then, okay, let me just show you the schedule. So, what are the upcoming sessions in the near future? Uh, on Friday, Saral sir will see you. Saturday, Srinivas sir will see you with DI sets. Sunday, Naveen sir will see you with geometry. Then Vikrant sir will see you with grammar. And then again, Naveen sir will see you with modern maths. Right? So these are the upcoming sessions. And don't forget to join us on February 25. We'll have a detailed analysis of TISSNET 23. We also tend to discuss the questions in these analyses, right? Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Uh, yes, we are planning CMAT sessions. Don't worry about it. So we are, on in our full gear now. Now that TISSNET notification, CMAT notification is out, right? So don't worry. A lot of sessions coming your way soon. This is our CAT 23 comprehensive program. In case you are planning to take it or any of your friends are planning to take it, we offer a lot of stuff in this, right? There are classroom sessions, there are recorded lectures, there's a lot of material. So we have a whole VRC book for you, right? Which is so comprehensive that you don't need to go anywhere else. So do have a look at this. The link is there in the description box. You can enroll right now. And to make this course accessible, we also offer scholarships based on some scholarship tests. So the next scholarship test is on 18th of February at 7 p.m. Do attend this. It's easier than CAT, I can assure you that, right? And yes, stay connected, follow us on various social media platforms. Okay, I hope you've already subscribed to the channel. If not, then do it. You'll get notifications for all the sessions. And on our app also, we conduct some very informative sessions targeted towards CAT and OMETs. So you can download the app and watch them. All right then. Bye. You too. Take care. Thank you for attending. I'll see you next time. Welcome. Welcome all of you. Bye-bye.